Bitcoin just flipped the freaking market. Monster price moves coming in, big news updates, and some real talk in this video about stacking coins and what it actually means to be investing long-term in this asset class. Just think about this. What your average investor or even what your institutional investors are looking at right now. They're looking at an asset that's gone up, 125, something like that % from its lows of the FTX collapse. Come on. People are paying attention to Bitcoin and what the heck is going on. We have institutions out here that are looking at Bitcoin as being the best performing asset of the year, basically, and the month. I mean, Bitcoin just made the highest monthly close in 18 months. October was real. We had an almost 30% candle in October. That's like this big flashing sign saying, hey, the water's warm, get in. You got your Bitcoin yet? Because this moon ship is taking off. Though you got to keep it real. It's all very exciting right now. The ETF news is exciting. What's happening with institutions is exciting. People coming in, hype starting to build back up, searches back up, all this kind of stuff, right? But we have to keep in mind as well that it's not going to just be straight to the moon, right? There will be pullbacks and all that kind of stuff, so keep that in mind. But also keep in mind that the ETFs are not out yet. And if you are buying Bitcoin right now, you are essentially front-running all those institutional players, all the big boys, BlackRock and all that kind of stuff. Their customers, they're not getting the Bitcoin ETF right now. You can buy spot Bitcoin and front-run all of those guys. That's your opportunity right now in the market. They are coming. And they are starting to FOMO in. We are seeing some big evidence of that happening, which we're going to get into in just a minute. But when we see these Bitcoin ETFs approved, and they will be approved, it's just going to get crazy from there. The money starts flowing in at the top to Bitcoin, goes down to ETH, goes down to the big cap coins, and just flows all over the place as people start chasing, trying to find the next Bitcoin. This is how bull markets are born. Money starts coming in at the top and it flows down. Remember, Bitcoin historically has moved in these 4-year cycles. And look, this could be broken at any point, the 4-year cycle, but right now we're still moving in that kind of direction. Now, during the first years of that cycle, so that'll be halving year, post-halving year, year after that, usually what you see is Bitcoin outperforming basically everything. That's whether you're talking about equities or different commodities, gold, come on, gold. Gold's actually been doing stuff recently. Makes me feel good about my gold holdings. But anyway, besides the point, Bitcoin tends to have 3 years of outperformance, 1 year of kind of underperformance. That was 2022. 2023 is an outperformance year. 2024, 2025, if we base our hypothesis on the Bitcoin 4-year cycle, are likely to also be outperformance years. The cycles continue. Until they don't, of course, but for right now, they seem to be continuing. Now, here's some very interesting news for you as well. CoinShares, they have said that crypto-related ETPs, so this is exchange-traded products like an ETF, but they trade over in Europe. The Europeans, they've had Bitcoin ETF-like products for a long time. The Canadians got them, the Brazilians got them, but Americans are being protected from themselves, from making money, from securing their financial futures. You can't have that. You can have garbage. You can get Bitcoin futures products, which are garbage. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, those ETPs have seen $300 million of inflows over the last few weeks. This is the highest level in over a year. 90% of that money went into Bitcoin. 10% of it went into Solana, approximately, a little bit into Ethereum as well. And these recent inflows are pretty big. They're big numbers, right? But they actually only rank 21st in the 3-year history of CoinShares taking records on this stuff. So that does show that, yes, interest is picking up big time. However, we're not at peak bull mania yet. Obviously, we're way away from that. That means opportunity is still here for investors to get involved. People are still cautious. People are like, well, what if they don't get approved? Do I really want to buy Bitcoin now? Maybe I should wait. Macro's so bad. Really shouldn't buy Bitcoin. It's too risky. The biggest risk, in my opinion. has, of course, with Bitcoin, been not owning any Bitcoin. That's been the biggest risk of Bitcoin. That's what I've seen. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me in the comment section if you think that is the case. We also have big Bitcoin ETF news, big news out of the CME as well. Before I break that down for you, just a quick note. If you are a cryptocurrency trader, get yourself an account over on BYBIT. It is the best damn place to be doing your trading, whether you want to trade futures, whether you want to trade spot altcoins, copy trading, whatever, they got you covered. 30K in bonuses if you use the link in the description. That's more than the regular 5K you'd get without using that. That's, of course, depending on how much you trade, how much you deposit. It's max limit. And there's also a special lucky draw right now. They're giving away like iPhones, thousands of dollars in prizes, again, exclusively using that link in the description. So let's get into the ETF news. So Invesco and Galaxy, they have got the ticker BTCO for their spot Bitcoin ETF. That has now been listed on the DTCC website. The DTCC is that clearinghouse that does quadrillions a year in volume. Now, this is the third, I believe, spot Bitcoin ETF to be listed on their website. And you have to ask yourself the question, why are all these tickers being listed on their website if they're not coming? It's because they're coming. We just have to wait for them to come now, of course. We also have news that some of the world's top market makers, Jane Street, Jump, Capital, others, they're actually talking with BlackRock right now about being market makers for their Bitcoin ETF when it comes out. Like, you got to realize we're at advanced stages right now of conversations, whether it be with these different companies like BlackRock talking to the SEC, whether it be them talking to market. Why are they talking to market makers if they're not going to get a spot Bitcoin ETF? Why is BlackRock seeding their Bitcoin ETF over the last few weeks? They started. Why are they doing that if they're not going to get the Bitcoin? Because they're going to get it. It's coming. It's coming. It's just a matter of freaking time. Also, Bitcoin ETF coming in early January is now looking like a done deal. That's according to Bernstein Research. Bernstein's been pretty bullish on Bitcoin recently, so shout out to another Bitcoin bull in the house. But January 10th, as we've discussed at length here, of course, on the channel, is the next big final deadline, and that's for ARK's Bitcoin ETF. And once one gets approved, they're probably all going to be approved at the same time. It doesn't have to be on January 10th. It could be December 21st. It could be January 1st. Well, maybe not January 1st. Everything's shut down at that point, but you know what I mean. It'll be just one day we're going to wake up and 8 or 10 Bitcoin ETFs will have been approved. It'll be a great day. Bitcoin's going to do one of those candles. It'll be awesome. Here's some pretty interesting news as well. The CME, that's Chicago Mercantile Exchange, they do futures trading for Bitcoin futures contracts, which are garbage. However, very interesting news here. It's about to flip BINANCE as the largest exchange in the world in terms of Bitcoin future open interest. What does this mean? It means the institutions, because this is for institutions. This ain't for you and me to go play around and buy $50 worth of Bitcoin futures contracts. That's what Binance is for. This is where the big boys, they go and speculate on the price of Bitcoin using these garbage futures contracts. Well, CME is about to flip Binance, the biggest cryptocurrency exchange in the world, in terms of volume for Bitcoin futures contracts. The institutions are here. The institutions are paying attention. They're speculating on the price. They know the potential of the asset class to continue to appreciate in price moving forward. It's just getting started, guys. It's just getting started. We will see. This is, again, these are garbage contracts at the CME. They have no real impact on the actual price of Bitcoin. It's just them gambling on the price of Bitcoin. Spot ETFs drive real demand, meaning real spot Bitcoin is bought and locked into these ETF products, which creates actual physical demand for Bitcoin. I feel like we're at the stage right now where if you haven't entered the market yet, or maybe you haven't deployed enough cash into the market yet, again, not financial advice, never financial advice on this channel, just my opinions on everything, right? People who fail to start cost averaging and don't have to go in all at once, people make that big mistake. You're probably gonna have to pay much higher prices in the future if you don't get yourself positioned. The Bitcoin halving's 7 months out now. Bitcoin ETFs could be approved any day. Maybe it's early January, maybe it's sooner, maybe it's mid-March. The clock is ticking regardless. And if you haven't been stacking, well, what have you been doing the last year or two, man? I don't even know. Watching Netflix? I mean, come on, man, stack some sats. Here's an interesting thing as well, because actually a lot of you, probably you personally, I have been, a lot of other people watching have been stacking sats. And here's the proof of that. Bitcoin has reached a new milestone with nearly 40 million wallet addresses currently sitting in profit. It's a new record. Yes, the price is still like 50% under the all-time high, but this data coming in from Glassnode, by the way, shows that a huge amount of addresses are profitable at current prices. What does that mean? A lot of people were paying attention. They dollar cost averaged during the bear market. And if you didn't, you're now forced to chase the green candles, hoping for pullbacks. And in case there is a pullback, I threw in a bid at $30,000. Just in case. Love to get some more Bitcoin at 30K. That would be fantastic. Are you bidding Bitcoin right now? Let me know in the comment section if you have any open bids in for Bitcoin and what you're bidding at. Are you trying to get it 29K? Are you waiting for 10K, man? Let me know down below in the comment section, and I'll see you next time.